All right. Hey, everyone. I am Prophetess Tequila Coleman, best-selling author, God-ordained marriage coach, and founder of God-ordainedmarriage.com. Tonight, it is our God-ordained Women of Power. We are here to empower women. We wanted to get together just to educate, empower, inspire, women, regarding their relationships. Okay, so I'm going to begin to introduce everyone and bring them on. Well, they're already here. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce everyone. Okay. Now, before we jump into this and before I introduce the ladies, listen. If this is your first time catching, me live or the ladies live, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and let us know over in the chat that this is your first time tuning in. Okay, so we can shout you out. For everyone else, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this live video. Okay, so let me go ahead and introduce the ladies we have here for our Women of Power session. We have Nina from Crown Queens. Okay, hey there, Nina. Woo! We'll see you a shout out. We have Destiny from Dream Girl Lab, become your dream girl and then his. So hey there, Destiny. We have Vicky from Victorious in Christ Ministry. Hey there, Vicky.
Victorious in Christ.
I'm sorry. Victorious in Christ. I'm sorry. And we have the Crown Jewel from it's the Crown Jewel, right? Your channel, right?
Yeah.
The Crown Jewel. YouTube channel. Okay. And then we have Deanna, the beautiful Deanna. Welcome, Deanna. All right. So we got Renee. She said this is her first time tuning in from South Africa. Thank you, Renee, for tuning in. We are so excited that you are here. So go ahead and get your pen and paper out because we're going to be talking. We're going to give y'all some tips, some tools, some strategies on how to improve your relationships. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and just pull up the questions. So the way how our session is going to work tonight, it's going to be like a Q&A. Okay, we have a lot of questions. We gather together and we all just going to take our own time just answering these questions. Okay, while we're talking about women and relationship, if you have a question, feel free to drop your question down in the chat. Okay, and then we will make sure to answer your question. Okay, so the first question is, what is your definition of a good woman? What is your definition of a good woman? So, well, let me start. I'll start. My definition of a good woman is simply that, she's a good woman. She's someone who is kind, caring, considerate, compassionate. A good woman in my eyes is someone who is good when you're around and when you're not around. Okay, so she's good all around. And I was actually looking at the scripture in Proverbs. I think it's Proverbs 31 verse 12. It says she brings him good, not harm, right? And so as I was looking up that scripture, when you look up good in the concordance, it had many different definitions. It's basically saying how she made the man better, she improves his life, she's a benefit, things of that nature. So a good woman to me is someone who is, like kind-hearted, good, she's everything good. She represents the Lord, someone who fears the Lord, etc., etc. So what is your definition of a good woman? And feel free to just jump in there.
I'll go. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, I'll just say, I think a good woman, she's someone that's independent. She's somebody that can hold her own. She's somebody that's very family oriented. She's supportive. She's a good listener. This is a woman, she can cover every area when it comes to the family, friends, just that all around woman. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I like that. Go ahead, Destiny.
I think a good woman, she has a pure heart. She has good character, like honesty. She's loyal. You could trust her. She's very genuine, and I think that she love herself. I think that's an important aspect of being a good woman, because if you don't challenge people, and you don't like bring the good out in others too. So that's what I would say.
I think all of that is really important. Everything, good character, being really genuine, having a really good heart. But I also think a lot of being a good woman is being able to admit when you're wrong, and just like seeing other people's perspectives as well, in all different ways, and just having empathy and compassion for everyone, and always bringing people back to Christ and God, but also understanding that everyone has different experiences and not really to judge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I agree with everyone. I believe a good woman is a woman of God first, and she's honest. She brings with her good moral character. She brings with her good work ethic. She's a provider, not provider as far as the head, but she, like the Proverbs 31 woman, she has multiple streams of income. She does things early in the morning to set the atmosphere for her home and for the day. So that's a big part of it for me.
Yeah. I like that. All right. Okay. Next question. What makes a woman a high value woman? So, what do y'all think makes a woman a high value woman?
I think a lot of it is what Jennifer said, like able to hold her own and be independent, and not taking like any bad stuff from anyone, but also having that loving attitude, and like being receptive and submissive to a man if needed, and just loving at her core, for sure.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's her mindset. Like, she knows the value that she adds to other people, and because she know her value, she carry herself that way, and she doesn't settle for anything less than what she knows she deserves. That's what I think a high value woman is.
Yeah. And I'm gonna piggyback behind you, because that's what I was gonna say. Like, a high value woman is someone who she know her worth and value.
Right.
And it go right back over to the Proverbs 31 woman, where it say at the end, she surpassed them all. See, the high value woman is the woman who fears the Lord. The high value woman is the one who like, she's righteous, according to God's standard. She is the one basically who fears, I mean, not who fears the Lord, but who surpassed them all. So I wanted to add that. Go ahead.
I also think a high value woman is a healed woman. I feel like if you're healed, like mentally and emotionally, you operate a little differently.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I love it. I love it. Hey, dear Tara. Thank you for joining us. All right. So, what are 3 standards you believe every woman should have? What are 3 standards you believe every woman should have?
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
It's kind of similar to Jennifer. Get your own money, girl. Like, have your own money. Like, be in your purpose. Definitely don't settle. I'm big on that. Don't settle for nothing. And make your self-care a priority. Like, take care of yourself. Those are what's my standards as far as like myself. But if we were to talk about a relationship, I would say, are we talking about a relationship, or are we talking about just for ourselves?
It could be both. Yeah, it could be both.
Okay, so for a relationship, I would say never let a man make you a secret. Never let a man make you an option. And I don't know. What's the third one? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll go right behind you. Respect. Because if you don't have respect, we don't have nothing at all. So
That's
respect,
right.
I believe, because that can start. Respect starts in your personal life and in your relationship. So I would say respect, honesty. That's one of my standards. I'm a very honest person, and I expect people to be honest, to me. And then loyalty. If I just had to narrow it down to 3 standards, these 3 standards, respect, honesty, and loyalty, they first start in my personal life, and they can roll over into my relationships. So yes. I like that. Anyone else? Okay. She said, yes, ma'am, love me loudly or not at all. Come on now. All right. Hey dear Olivia, thanks for joining us tonight. All right. All right, cool. So let's keep it going. So next question. Do you believe it's important to have your own life outside of your spouse? Okay, now let me just say this, because I didn't say this at the beginning. I know right here on the channel, I talk a lot about God-ordained marriage, okay? We're not going to talk about that tonight. I want the God-ordained marriage talk to just go for a minute. And I want us, the goal for tonight is to talk about women and their relationship. And really the goal is to help to improve your relationship, okay? Your relationship with self and your relationship with man or even your spouse, okay? We can come back on, do another session talking about God-ordained marriage, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there. But do you believe it's important to have your own life outside of your spouse?
Absolutely. I think that men in any type of relationship find it very intriguing when a woman has their own life and doesn't look at them as their happiness. Like when a guy sees this woman will have her happy ever after with or without me, that is very like respectable. And I think men are very intrigued by that because we are trained from such a young age to need a man and everything. And when a woman breaks out of that and finds her worth and her empowerment on her own, and she's not super loud about it, she's calm and collected and, you know, graceful about it. And she's like, okay, if you love me, great. If not, I'll be okay without you. I think that's very intriguing and beautiful to a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
and
agree.
I believe, yeah.
Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Well, you know, I share my story how I used to be that woman. You know, I used to be married and I didn't have a life outside of my spouse at that time. And so when you don't have a life outside of your spouse, you lose yourself in a marriage. You lose yourself in that man and you make that man that your idol, right? So you don't want to do that. So I do believe in having your own life outside of your spouse. And it really starts in purpose. You know, it starts with purpose, you know, you identifying your hobbies, your interests, you know, the things that you like to do, and you start there, you know. So yes, I do believe in that.
I was basically gonna say the same thing. Like every woman should have their life outside of their spouse. Like hang out with your girls, still go out with your friends and stuff. Like I have friends that like once they get a man, they just forget about their friends and stuff. Like I don't want to be that girl. So yeah, I definitely think dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you become a nag, you know, like I'm just being honest.
You
You become
bored.
a
That's your
nag.
only friend.
You become
Right.
a what?
Right.
Nag.
A nag.
Oh, a nag. Okay.
Yeah.
Nag, you become a nag, you know, and you know, no one likes that. So I just
That's annoying.
It is.
Yeah, you become too clingy, and then you make, like you say, you make that person your idol, and you know that's what God hates. And you become codependent, and you invade their space. And when you do that, what does it do? Push them further away. So you have to have your own life. You have to have your own happiness. It's not found in someone else.
I feel it's like, sorry. I feel it's really repelling to anyone to like have think about like your happiness is in them and not you. Like you need to find it within yourself first.
Yeah.
And I will say, I was that woman. Anytime I got in a relationship, I made it all about that man, lost friends and everything. It was that. And so you want to give a man a chance to miss you. If you're always up under him, you know, he's gonna get tired, you know, because he wants to have his own life as well outside of you. So just creating that balance, so you guys can keep the relationship kind of fiery and, you know, exciting.
I was that woman too.
We all were at one
Been
point.
there, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
Vision.
right. I feel like too, and when the women do that, I feel like it kind of reverse the roles because I feel like now you so worried about him and what he doing. He not worried about what you doing. Like I just feel like the roles get reversed and he's supposed to be pursuing you. I feel like even after marriage, like he's still supposed to be continue to pursue you, and that switched the roles to me.
Yeah. If you start, you have to maintain throughout it. So if you start that way, that's a bad recipe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So don't do that. Don't lose yourself in a marriage or relationship. Okay, you might end up losing your friends too.
Right.
I mean, but think about it. How many, a lot of women, you get in a relationship, and then okay, you alienate yourself from family, then you get friends, you cut off going out with the girls, things like that, and then if he go about his own business, you done destroy relationships.
Right.
Yeah. So don't do that.
Yeah. As soon as y'all break up, you back calling your friends.
Right. And they're like,
Hey girl, remember me?
right.
Can we hang out?
Like, no, don't come now.
Right.
Yeah, call so and so.
Right.
Yeah.
That is so true. That's so true. All right. A woman's value, where does it come from? Looks, body, sex, etc. Where does a woman's value come from?
Ooh, I had that all messed up years ago. It comes from God. Your value comes from God. It comes from within, not your hair. We're not our hair. That's I forgot the artist, but we're not our hair. We're not our,
Yeah.
we're not our hair. We're not our clothes. We're not even our size or shape. It's the glory and the beauty that's inward that flows outward. So it took me years to learn that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Searching
When you're
for love in all the wrong places.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can go ahead, Vicky.
Oh, I was just gonna say, when you're in the world and you're taught that, and you don't have any, outlet, and like you're not in touch with God, like it's so painful, like thinking that because it's all fleeting, all of these things are so vain and fleeting, and our true worth really does come from God. And I feel for people in the world who are women and still feel like they get their worth from those things, because that's so empty. I think it really just takes wisdom and years and growth to find these things, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Destiny, did you want to add to that? Did she freeze up? I think her screen froze. Okay. Yeah, and y'all know I preach about this all the time. Our word, just like Nina was saying, it comes from the Lord. And the thing is, if you get work from your body or sex or your looks, and these things are taken away from you, then now you're feeling, unworthy, not good enough, So we can't get our value from these things. Your value, it is found in the Lord. Okay, that have to be your foundation. Okay, that's your core. That's like your core value. Okay, and then you build from there. All right. And we also can't get our value from material possession. I just wanted to say that one as well. Okay. And what value does a woman bring to a man? So what value does a woman bring to a man?
Favor.
That's right. I had that going in my head like, yes. Favor. Mm-hmm.
I believe accountability, it helps him to become a better man, challenges him. Yeah.
Yep.
A woman multiplies whatever he brings to the table. She elevates it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like that. They think it's just favor, but she take things and she's creative, and she, like I said, she sets the environment. She sets you up for success, for more.
Yeah.
Multiplication is within us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, I like that. To make him better. All right, so here's the next question. Many young girls believe that all men cheat. So just the mindset of the woman. So if I leave this man, the next one would cheat also. So I'll just stay with this one. What is your take on this? Do all men cheat? And how would you advise a young woman with this mindset?
You know what? I used to think this way like for a little bit, and it just created so many toxic patterns in my mind and in my life. I think that if you think that way, you're just going to attract that. I think that if you see the good in people and really work on that and work on your trauma and heal, you really will see that not all men are like that. And if you have a relationship where God is in the center of it, Jesus Christ, then it will not be that way at all.
Yeah. And I don't believe all men cheat. If you find yourself attracting cheaters, then this is my belief. We attract who we are because that's the person you chose. You see, I can attract a cheater and a good man to me, but if I choose the cheater, I got to look within. What's going on in here? You see, so I don't believe all men cheat, and I don't believe, I don't believe if you lead a man, and find another man, that man is necessarily going to cheat. No, if you attract the cheaters and you lead that man, go ahead before you jump into another relationship. Heal first. Identify those red flags. So that you can you're better able to enter into this next relationship on the right foundation. Okay,
I have a question though.
go ahead. Mm-hmm.
If a woman is only, if she feel like every man is cheating, do you feel like it's part of the way she's carrying herself that may be attracting cheaters? Or
Well, no, well, here, but let me say this. Number one, I do believe we attract who we are because again, that's who we're choosing. Okay. And we might not even know, like this is what we are choosing. Okay. And I do also believe that there are some men who are not, who don't have character. Okay. So just because this man cheat, that don't mean, well, I don't want you to think like there's something wrong with you. The man can have, he probably don't have character or whatever. I'll say that he got some growth and development to do as well. Yeah. But I won't box all men in that category that all men cheat. Just like I was saying, if you lead that relationship, before you get into the next relationship, take a step back and begin to assess, okay, what went right in this relationship? What went wrong? What were the red flags? What were the things I ignored, so that you learn the lessons from this relationship and, you're attracting better the next time.
I see one of the good points that Artelia is making, that's why it's important to allow God to see you a God-fearing man. So that's the thing. A lot of times, like you say, our picker's broke. I know we heard that before. Our picker broke, and sometimes we got to go to God about. We're not supposed to pursue a man, but when a man presents himself to us, okay, we need to go to God about it. And those are the things I didn't do in my younger days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only kind of man that will be faithful is a man with a relationship with God. I feel like that's the only man that's going to be faithful is a man with a relationship with God, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have a question. You know how, I don't know what I can say or not say on YouTube, but the Madonna W complex or whatever that people talk about, Madonna WHORE complex, how men's perception can see you either as the virgin or the W word. They can see you as the good or bad one, but neither is good or worse because it's basically based on a man's representation of you, not God. So I think that when we like try and make ourselves into like what a man wants and we don't like look to God and we just try and like do everything to cater to a man, that like does us a disservice as well because we're not being authentic to who we are. Because I think that at the end of the day, we can't really control how these men perceive us. Like if you see me that way, that's not who I am. Like, fine, I'll find another man that sees me in a better light, who sees me as the mother of their children, their wife. But I think that a lot of women stay in unhealthy patterns because they want to prove to their man, no, I'm not the promiscuous one. I'm the wife. They're trying to prove something, but really, you're never gonna, win this man over by doing that. Like, you really just need to find your worth in God first. I feel like.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also think that a woman, she needs to kind of just pay attention to her surroundings in terms of who she's listening to, family, friends, because a lot of times what I find is that like younger women, they have other friends that they're in these same situations and they just think that this is acceptable. They think that, there's no other way to have a man other than a man that's going to cheat and do all these different things. And then also, mom will say, well, this is how men are. You just have to accept it. If he's providing, we got to get out of that mindset and make sure that we're around, healthy women that's going to see us being in these healthy relationships and just being with a man that's going to really value us and treat us well.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And I think low self-esteem and low self-worth is what keep us in the mindset, well, I'm gonna stay with this person because I feel like I can't have anything, but I don't deserve better or I can't have better. So a lot of women choose to stay in that situation because they don't think they can, go outside of that.
Yeah.
It's got to be corrected,
Yes.
I like that.
I would tell her to leave expeditiously. That's what I would do. Girl, because God said the man that's gonna value you. I would tell her leave. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man.
All right. Next question. Do you believe a woman should be at peace with herself before entering a relationship? And if so, how does a woman go about finding her own peace within herself?
I
And we
think
just did
a woman should be at peace with herself, because if she's not, she's going to mentally bring chaos to the relationship if she's not at peace with herself.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
people.
the way how a woman goes about.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Nina.
I was gonna say a lot of people attack when you say always, hey, you always bringing God into it, but God is the center and forefront. He should be the head of everything, and you always hear, well, it's always got to be about God, because it needs to be, and a lot of things are in place so we won't go through certain things. So if we just put God in it and allow Him to lead and direct us, we can avoid a lot of the stuff that we deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And as I always say, you can't be a man's peace if you don't have peace on the inside of yourself. So, we got to deal with, the stuff that's going on the inside. And just like how you were saying, Nina, we have to have God in the middle. God is peace. That's where the peace comes from. So if I want peace in my soul, I need to be connected to my Heavenly Father. You see, I need the spirit of peace to come upon me, and drive out or purge out, the confusion, the chaos, the drama that's on the inside of me, so I can get to that space of being peaceful.
I like Kyla Harris's comment. I believe you should obtain. Yeah, there it is. That's good.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say, I think that, something I've gone through is just really looking for external validation, when really that's just the most unpeaceful thing ever. Like, you really just need to find that internal validation through Jesus in order to really find that peace, because you're not going to find peace from other people. It really has to be an inner thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. And do the healing work.
Yes, that's right. That's right. All right. Okay, I like this question. If you can have your dream mate, what 3 character traits will he possess? That's probably Destiny. She said be your dream girl. Okay, be. Come on.
What would I say? First one is a gentleman. I'll need to be a gentleman, because just like Tequila always say, I'm real sensitive. So I need somebody that's gonna be real soft with me, because I am like a grown baby. So yeah, a gentleman, faithful.
Come on now, say it again. Say it again for the people in the back.
Faithful, loyal.
That's
Okay.
my number one.
Yep. Okay, I should have put that one first. Yeah, definitely faithfulness. Yes.
Mhm.
And I
A
don't know
man
if
of God.
I guess a man of God. Yeah, he gotta love the Lord. Yeah. A
Yeah.
heart for God. Man after God's own heart. There we go.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's
Come
a
on
good
now.
Integrity.
Only 3, we couldn't get 5.
Don't
God.
let them use you. Don't listen to my.
For me, I'll say romance, laughter, and friendship.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's good.
So God is an automatic, but those 3 are big for me. So
Yeah.
I'll just add in protector because y'all said, the ones that's on my list. But I'll add in protector, and confident. Yes.
Yes. That's
Confident.
attractive.
It is.
That is. That's sexy when a man is confident.
Mhm. Yeah. Over here in the chat, they say assertive, empathetic, and goofy. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like a man that does what he says he's gonna do.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Good word. Mm-hmm. That's right. I like that. All right, cool. A lot of people believe if you really love a person, you stay by their side no matter what. Through cheating, infidelity, loss of a job, or health issue. What is your take on this? Is love really unconditional? Love is unconditional. However, when cheating, infidelity comes into place, of a marriage, I'm talking about a marriage. I have to love you with boundaries now. Okay, I gotta love you with boundaries. All right, because we have a such thing called toxic love or toxic loyalty, and then you have true love. You see, true love is patient with you, is kind, it speaks the truth to you, it's forgiving, it never gives up. But again, if there's disrespect, cheating, abuse, mistreatment, I now got to invite in my boundaries and standards, and God, I need some prayer on you too, because dealing with something else there. So yes, love is unconditional.
I was gonna say it's one thing to cheat, but when you're habitual in it, that's a choice you made. So you have to. There's a thin line. You have to decide what's your limit, like you say, with boundaries. Yeah.
So I have a question. So if the love is unconditional, but you have the boundaries, like, so what you saying, you would basically distance yourself from that person, right?
If I'm married,
Yeah.
I got to say this because if I'm married, if I'm married, of course we're gonna be in the same house together, but I can still have boundaries with this individual in the marriage. Now I'm about to say something that y'all might not agree with, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm married and the husband is cheating, okay, no sex, because now you're putting my life in danger. You see?
I agree with that.
Right.
You
Most
nothing
people,
for me.
they would say, "No, agree with it."
Absolutely not.
Right.
You not finna be giving me nothing because
Exactly.
you want to cheat. I'm not putting my body at risk.
Right. You got to protect yourself at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying, but if you're single and you're in a relationship with someone, and again, if there's like cheating, disrespect going on, you might have to break up with this person because if it's number one, it goes back to what are your standards, right? What are your non-negotiables? If it's breaking your standards, if it's breaking your non-negotiables, then I may have to let you go. That's still love, though. You see, that's still
Okay,
love.
talk about that.
Love.
Go into that deeper, because a lot of people would say, well, if you leave, then it's not love, then that's giving up.
No.
It's not giving
To
up.
let you go until you have better standards and morals.
It's being high value to like let go and stand up for yourself and loving yourself.
Yeah,
I agree.
because see, if you hold on and stay in a toxic relationship, even if the person don't even see it as toxic, you can lose your life. See,
Right.
you can lose your life. So again, it's just because we break up, or in our language, the God-ordained marriage language, divine separation, That don't mean I stop loving you. I can love you from a distance with
That's right.
strong, firm boundaries. And I'm going to pray for you, hoping that God encounter you in ways that give you revelation that this behavior isn't acceptable.
That's right.
And you have to change it. You see? So we
Yes.
just, that's why the Bible says, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of the mind. A renewal of the mind needs to take place in the individuals who's cheating, because cheating that's a character flaw. You see, it's never acceptable.
Right.
Okay, so that's a character flaw on the individual. That where they gotta get to the bottom of it. Why you keep cheating? What's going on within me? That's causing me to keep cheating or stepping out. Maybe it is good for you to be alone, so you can deal with that. And stop hurting and hurting other people. But yeah, I can love you from a distance.
I agree.
I can love you with some strong boundaries. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is a good one. What does emotional availability, or I wonder if I wrote it wrong. Okay, what does emotional availability look like in a woman? I wrote it right. So what does emotional availability look like in a woman?
I I believe an emotionally available woman is in tune with how she feels, is able to communicate in a respectful way how she feels. If she feels disrespected, she can communicate that without being disrespectful as well. Like having a calm temperament at all times, even if you're like upset.
Yeah, I agree. Emotional available woman. She's trustworthy. She's able to communicate. Be vulnerable, open.
I think emotional available woman is mostly healed from her past relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think emotional availability is like not shutting down when people come to you and like want to talk to you about something, and
Yes.
and not walking away and like getting all like weird and like, oh my gosh. I think that someone who's emotionally available is able to be respectful and receptive to someone else and what they're going through as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And she's able to support,
Yes.
her partner. She's able to extend that helping hand, that support, encouragement, things of that nature to the partner.
I think she's able to be vulnerable and transparent and just show up in the relationship, just be available mentally, emotionally, in a healthy way. Yeah.
Now let's do the opposite. So what are some signs of an emotionally unavailable woman?
Kind of like what I just said, like they get really weird if someone's crying, or they get really weird if anyone has any type of emotion other than just being happy all the time. Like I've just noticed, like in my personal life, I find it very off-putting. Like when someone's emotional or going through something, friends or family just can't deal with it and just abandon them and leave them. It's like, this person needs compassion and needs someone to be there for them. You don't need to get so weird about it. Like, I don't know.
And I'm gonna say this: 2 of the biggest signs of an emotionally unavailable woman is, number 1, she finds a good man to be unattractive.
Mm-hmm.
She don't like him. She finds
I
everything wrong
agree.
with him. And then number 2, she's attracted to rejection. She's attracted to rejection. The more you reject her, the more you have her interest. The more she calls you, the more she chases you. But when you show interest, she's like, oh, she see it as, you're needy, or something wrong with him. He's desperate. Those are signs of an emotionally unavailable woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she play a lot of games too.
Mm-hmm.
She play a lot of games with men. Yeah.
Yeah. And she doesn't like, the man as much as he liked her.
Right.
Mhm.
That can even show up as inability to commit.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
or not being able to like have healthy communication, or not like
Mhm.
being able to hold yourself accountable.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I like this one right here. Kyla said, "Can't let others have their moment." That is so true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
She said everything has to be about her.
Yeah.
I feel like also women that are like this, maybe they've been through a lot of bad relationships and they've been through a lot of hurt. So it's almost like, let me put on this hard shell so I don't have to worry about being hurt anymore. I don't have to worry about being rejected anymore, anything like that. So usually it's women that's been through something with a number of men.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now I'm gonna answer this question, and y'all can answer it too. It said, "Is she attracted to that rejection because she's not healed from past hurt and brokenness?" Well, yes, that's exactly why she's attracted to it. But you got to understand rejection. Rejection changes your personality. Okay, rejection. So I'm about to go biblical. Rejection is spiritual. Okay, so this is a spirit of rejection that is attacking this woman, and so the spirit of rejection its goal is to keep her in this cycle, this demonic cycle of only being attracted to men or people who reject her. You see, so until she receives healing and deliverance, she's going to stay in this demonic cycle
Yeah.
of only being attracted to the one who reject her or abandon her or hurt her.
That's good.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Yes, toxic cycle. All right. All right. Okay, here's a good one. Why do you feel women settle in relationships and what does that look like? Oh, let's talk about it. Why do you
The crown jewel.
Say what?
why do you feel women settle
What?
in relationships
What am I?
and what does
Why am
that
I
look
on the
like?
spot first?
I'll
Destiny,
say
I'm gonna
this.
get you.
I was gonna write a book called No More Settling. A long
Okay.
time ago, I was gonna write that book. But I believe it goes right back to, women settle, people settle because of how you view and feel about yourself. You know,
Yeah.
Yes.
you can be raised to settle,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can
I
be
feel like
raised
a
or
lot.
taught to settle,
Yeah,
you know?
I think a
It
lot of
definitely has a lot to do with how a person feels about themselves. Like you said, how they were raised, and then also um, just how they basically how they feel about themselves. I'll just say that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
think
believe
it's
they
a fear of
feel.
being
Oh,
insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on that a little more? Because I mean, now, because a lot of times I know when you say raised to settle, it's not intentional. A lot of times they they raised you and what they knew. You know what I mean? So
Right.
can you be a
That's
little bit elaborate on that a little bit more
Yeah,
about?
that's true. That's true. Because you could be raised by parents or whoever raised you, and they probably didn't have, like the things to give you or whatever. But
Right.
also, you can also be raised by, no offense, toxic parents who know exactly what they're doing,
Mhm.
and this is where the terms black sheep, scapegoat come in at. They know exactly what they're doing, and they will intentionally neglect this one child.
Mhm.
You see, that
Right.
was my experience. That's why I'm able to talk about it. They would intentionally neglect this child, make them feel like you have to settle, like this is your portion in life, and I'll give you an example of that. You can have a parent such as a mother who, let's say, the daughter is dating a great man, but the mother don't like him. So the
mm-hmm.
mother highlight this broken man. This the one you should date. You see. So
Mm.
again, this is settling. She's actually, she
Okay,
teaching
that makes
her
sense.
how to settle. And it could be other things in play in there. The mother can be jealous of her, or you know, it could be some limited belief going on up in there, but yeah, you
I
can be
would
raised.
also say loneliness. A lot of people, they don't like to be alone. So
Right.
if you can't really find what you're looking for, you'll just say, okay, this is, I guess, quote unquote, the next best thing. Let me just go on and be with this person. Even though they don't really have anything to offer, you may not be attracted to them. But I see that a lot with a lot with women. They don't feel like they can be alone for whatever reason. And they just get in these relationships with these men that don't really treat them like anything.
Yeah. And just like Leslie just posted in the comments, she said, like my mom saying, you know, you're getting older. Maybe you shouldn't be so picky. So now the mom is lowering her standards.
Wow.
Or you know how on the holidays, family be like, you know, why you still ain't married? You know, babies.
No, yeah. I was gonna say loneliness, and then like society pressures women so hard to get married by a certain age, and like no one wants to be like mocked to be like an old maid, like even though that's so outdated. But I think people have fear of just the outside world judging them, and just loneliness, and just getting to a certain age and thinking you're not like worthy or lovable or whatever, which is so untrue.
Yeah. And we got to stop doing that as a people, putting pressure and making a person be aware of the time clock. That, you know, you got to stop doing that. Why you not married yet? People got to stop.
Yeah.
I know, it's so annoying.
Yeah. And don't you think the person know they're not married?
Right.
Like,
and
I was
marriage
gonna
is
say
something you
too.
don't want to just rush into, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want to just rush into it. You know, they said like you should just be like, come on, you know, like you just picking them one by one. Like, nah, you know, single is a good thing. You know, single is a good thing.
I'm like, this is the rest of my life we're talking about. Like, I don't take that lightly at all.
Right. Yeah.
I
You're
was
be
gonna
like
say
Paul. Go ahead.
I was gonna say too. I think some people settle because sometimes it feels uncomfortable. Like, let's say you never experienced a good person before. Like, I have seen somebody, and I hope she's not watching this, but I've seen somebody like have a very good man in their life and reject it and go to the man that treats her horrible. So I think it's like you just feel unworthy. It kind of makes you feel uncomfortable that somebody coming in and treating you good, you're not used to it. So I think that's a reason why people settle too. They just feel like unworthy.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Now, before I get into that, let me just read Ms. Tarver. She said, also the quote, it says, your biological clock is ticking. That will make you settle. So don't listen to that biological clock. Okay. Don't go off of that clock or your age, you know, all that stuff. No. That will make you settle. Destiny, I forgot what I was about to say. What did you do? What did you say?
I said a lot of women, they feel unworthy. Like, I know for me, like, I didn't have my father in my life. And so, you know, for a man to come in and be good, it was kind of uncomfortable for me, you know. And I know other women too that have done that. Like, you push away a good man, then, you know, accept a horrible man. So it just, you have to know that you're worthy of being treated well and with respect for you to actually accept good treatment. You got to feel worthy first.
I've been guilty of choosing someone because of what I wanted, not what I needed.
Say it again. Say it again.
Watch over your needs.
Yes.
That's where we mess up at a lot.
Yeah. That's good, because here's the thing. If you don't know what you need, how can you choose it? You see what I'm saying? We know what we want. We got our list. I want, you know, the 6 feet, you know.
Athletic build, we certain complexion. That ain't what's cutting it.
No.
You gotta go deeper than that. Yeah.
I also feel like women settle sometimes because of money and stability. A man could treat you horrible, but because he's providing this life for you, he's paying the bills, where you don't have to struggle, or just having that stability where you don't have to do it all on your own. Many women will settle, and I think that goes back to sometimes what our mom have taught us. Women back in the day, they dealt with men cheating and things like that because they were taking care of the household.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why you got to get your own money. So you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
For real.
Before the husband comes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I want to go back to that need. So what are some things you need in a relationship or marriage? I'm gonna keep saying this until I get it. I need a protector. Okay. That's what I need. I need a protector. I need quality time. Okay.
Yes.
And I say that because that's in alignment with my love language. You see? So if you don't know what your love language is, and you get in a relationship or a marriage, and let's say your love language is quality time, but you don't know it, and you're not able to clearly articulate this to the man, you're gonna feel all alone. You're gonna feel unloved, things of that nature. So it's very important for you to know, what do you need in a relationship, in a marriage.
Yeah. I would agree. I need quality time. I used to think like I do want like a successful man, but I realized he have to learn how to balance out his life. Like he can't just be work, 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 work. I definitely need that quality time that makes me feel loved. And two, I would say definitely like words of affirmation. I think is my love language too. So yeah. And gifts.
That's right. Come on, give me all of them. Put all the love languages.
Yes, I need it.
Yep, I need the words of affirmation. I need what is it? The
Acts of service.
Acts of service. Yes.
Yeah, I like acts of service and quality time, but I want emotionally available.
Absolutely.
Yes, I need that too.
As
But I
well
think
as honesty and faithfulness.
Yeah,
but I think that go with the words of affirmation too, because you can't get that if you're not emotionally available.
Some people can spit it out and
What is fake?
play on words. That don't mean they
a good talker.
Yep, gift the gab. That don't mean that they're emotionally available.
That's true.
Yeah. I need to trust my man in like knowing that like I turn that way and he's not gonna be like looking at a woman. Like I need to trust that he's got it and he's like confident enough in his masculinity that I'm not gonna like he's not going to be intimidated by me or anything. Like, I don't like when a man's scared of me. Like, I like a man to just be a man, a provider, a protector, faithful, all of it, trust, all of it.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, here's a question. Is it bad to abstain from going out to avoid selecting a counterfeit? The singleness is tempting me to go out. So what is your response to that?
What she mean going out? Like going out to the club or like just going out to go have fun? Like what does she mean?
Right, just going out to have fun.
I think you should go out. I mean, you just have to have self-control. I don't think there's anything wrong with going out with your friends. Just like we said earlier, you should have your own life and everything before your spouse come. Or even when you're in a marriage,
I'm gonna say this. If you're gonna go out, you have to know you, okay? Meaning, if I know I'm vulnerable right now, if I know I desire to be around masculine energy, and if I'm around this masculine energy, it may cause me to fall, I don't need to go out. I don't need to go out. I might need to stay at home and read a book.
Oh my goodness. Maybe you could just find somewhere where it's like not men there. Like go out to the nail shop. Go out, I don't know, where it would be majority women if the men is a problem. But I don't think you should just stay stuck in a house because that could make you more lonely. That could make you more depressed. Like you should be doing things with yourself,
And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Have a life before spouse.
And you got to master discipline.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's part of, being in God, mastering discipline, so you can be able to avoid um, the temptation and the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think too, and just understanding, I think once you understand what a counterfeit is and that it's sent from the devil and it's only coming to steal, kill, and destroy, it should get easier to avoid the temptation, just understanding like what that is.
Yeah,
So
it's just delay. Sorry, Destiny, you could finish.
no, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's just gonna delay your promise. Like it might like be okay in the moment, like make you feel good, someone's comforting you, whatever, but it's just gonna delay the promise like even more. Like, why would you even want that? And then in the back of your mind, you're just gonna know like I want to end up with my God-ordained spouse anyway, but you're gonna push it back like a year or two by like even spending time with these counterfeits.
Right.
What I keep in my mind is when I'm around anybody, the wrong one is keeping me away from the right one.
Yes.
And that's what helps me. Yeah. Don't waste. I wasted time in the past. I'm not doing that on the wrong one.
Right.
Yeah. And if we have the wrong one in the right one's feet, do you really think God is going to release his son or daughter, to you?
Exactly.
No. We gotta make space, room.
And then too, I feel like just in me standing, I know we're not supposed to be talking about God or spouse, but I feel like God be testing you. Like he tests me, like he'll see like, what you gonna do? So it's just like pass the test, like even if the man fine, whatever, just pass the test. Like it's just a test. Like it's not your spouse, so that's the test.
Or if you know that you on this journey and you know that God has given you a husband, why would you want anybody else?
Right.
That's right. Yeah. All right, here's another one. What about women who are traditional like Sarah and were raised in a culture that a man works and the woman doesn't work? The woman takes care of the home and children. So what are y'all thoughts on this?
I mean, I guess if that's what they agree on, if they're agreeing to live that life like that, that's fine. But I just did a video on this a few days ago that we're in 2025 right now. So, you got to be able to bring it as a woman. The man got to be able to bring it. You guys should be working together to build. So, but I mean, if that's what they agree on, I think that's fine. Where the woman is staying at home and taking care of the kids. But even within that, I would probably be a woman that would still have some type of business, just being able to bring something to the table. And I'm sure her husband would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Even with all the good advice, at the end of the day, as we all thought, what works in your home, if it's working,
Yeah.
then it's working.
Yeah.
Right.
It's what works for you. You're not going to be like the next door neighbor. Yeah. You got to come up with a solution that's going to best fit your needs.
Mm-hmm. Now, y'all have made me open up the Bible.
That's good.
In Genesis chapter 1, it says, because we got to understand this. We got to really understand the purpose of, women. Okay. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. It says, so God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them. Verse 28. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. So stop right there. Okay, it's nothing wrong with you, the wife, the woman staying at home, take care of the children, take care of the home. But if that's it, you're not in purpose. And whatever's not in purpose, you're going to perish. Just being honest. Okay. So like God made us to be fruitful. Okay. Fruitfulness doesn't stop just with bearing children. We need to be fruitful, and then God made you to be suitable helper to help your king. So he's going to need help on the job. He's going to need help in his calling, his career, right? So, like I said, if it worked for y'all, in your home, then cool. But you're going to tire out. You're going to get bored. You're going to feel unfulfilled, and it can show up in many different ways. So just know the purpose that God created the woman for, he created all of us for a purpose, right? It is our goal to learn, okay, God, why did you create me? What is the thing you called me, to accomplish in this world, right? You can step in your purpose and take care of the home and children at the same time. Okay. But if there's no purpose, you won't have any fulfillment. And you're going to be looking to that man to just meet all of your needs. You're going to wear him out if you're not in purpose. Okay. I just wanted to say that.
I agree.
A lot of times being unfulfilled, that's how people cheat,
yeah,
or get caught up in other things. So that's good too. Fulfillment.
Yeah. We have to know. We gotta step into purpose. All right. Okay, I'm gonna come back. Let's go over here. Okay, so how does a woman show that she values herself? How does a woman show that she values herself?
I would say by not putting up with no mess. She walk away quick. As soon as you disrespect her, she corrects you. She corrects you, and if you keep doing it, she walk away.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying, a woman show her value is through her standards.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, she's showing others how to treat her. Even if you're not treating her according to her standards, she's going to help you. Okay, you're going to continue to treat me this way. There's that boundary. I'm distancing myself. Or through that boundary, I learned to come up with better way. I learned to come up with treating her better. Yes. So, the boundaries can help either push someone away or help them to change and show up better.
I also think a woman can show that she values herself by her lifestyle, like what she eats, what she puts in her body, the way she dresses, and what she does with her time. Like the fact that she reads her Bible and she just tries to gain wisdom every single day. She prays every day. She tries to be better every single day. That's amazing. And that shows that she really respects herself and her life.
Yes.
For a long time, I didn't show that. I didn't have that value in myself. And you project that, and that attracts the negative. And it attracts men who devalue you. So right. A lot of times when you don't have that, you're attracting that. So when you have your value, you will attract valuable men. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That is so true.
Yes.
So true. All right. Why do women ignore red flags with men? So let me ask y'all this first. Before we answer that, have you all ignored any red flags in men?
Baby, we're past all the stoplights. We're past the stop signs, the stoplights, everything. Just kept going. Man.
Yes. I was ignoring
times in the past. Yes.
I was ignoring them because I was looking at the potential in them instead of like looking at the red flag. So it always would be like, okay, well, I see all this negative stuff, but they could be like this. They showed me this and that. So I think I would just always be looking at the potential in them instead of actually just like,
We think we could change them, but it's not us. God. Only God can change somebody.
I can't figure out what I was doing, y'all. I just was doing something.
Low self-esteem played a part in red flags. For me, I can't speak for anybody else.
I'll say the potential and thinking that we can change a man. I cannot tell you how much potential focusing on a man's potential has gotten me in trouble with men.
Yeah.
So, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah. We need to really just focus on what a man is showing us and not worry about his potential.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I also think a lot of us, like before we were healed, we saw what we wanted to see rather than actually what was going on.
Yeah.
Like if you're like in denial about it, you're not going to be able to see the red flags, I guess.
That part.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. I was very superficial. I had a type that I liked, and that was it. If he was cute, okay, that it was all surface.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's true. I'm with y'all with that potential. Um, what was the question again? So why? Okay, so we kind of answered the question. That's why some women, may ignore the red flags. Here's a question: how did you guys deal with desiring physical touch?
Ooh, we much prayer.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's
what
hard.
they say, praying and fasting, Lord. Jesus.
Prayer fasting.
Yeah.
Some things
Oh,
don't
no.
come out with just prayer. You got to add fasting. Yeah,
Right.
that's
Right there,
Start
yo,
rubbing your own leg. Just start rubbing on your own leg.
You're not putting yourself in situations
That's right.
that will cause you to
Yeah.
want physical touch. That's a biggie right there.
That's true. Yeah.
I think it's just purpose too. I think it's just I'm very busy like during the day. I don't really I be so busy sometimes I don't have time to think about it. I try to just make myself busy doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do. So I don't think
I
about it.
agree. I've been so busy doing purpose and different things. When I look up, I forget. I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
In the
Yeah,
beginning, when I was first saved, it was really hard, but like prayer, fasting, staying busy, like I barely get those feelings anymore. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And controlling your thoughts.
Yeah, casting them
Controlling your
down as
thoughts.
soon as they hit your mind.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll say like if those thoughts come up, just finding something to do right away to get your mind off of those thoughts.
yeah.
Because when you, as in the past, I entertained those thoughts, and thoughts leads to action.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And that goes right back to knowing what you need, right? As a woman in your single season, right? If I know, because that's a love language, physical touch. If I know my love language is physical touch, then I need to find healthier ways while I'm single on how to meet that own need within myself. You see? That can be as simple as if you have children, you allowing your children to hug on you,
Yeah.
It can be something as simple as that.
and I just want to be clear. Taking care of your needs don't mean masturbatation.
Right.
I mean, what you can say on it.
Thank you for clarifying that.
You don't mean that, y'all.
Tequila said, take care of my needs.
Right. You don't mean that. You can satisfy your personal need by just being in the company of other people. It don't have to be the opposite sex. It can be, many things other than that. So, that's what I was going to say. Well, that lady said such and such.
I say even just when I hang out with my girlfriends, like no, it's not like a man or cuddling me or anything, but I feel like even just talking with other women or just going out with my friends, like I get fulfillment in that too. So it takes my mind off of that. Like we're having fun, we're talking about having girl talk. Like it'll take your mind off of that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's good. Thanks for clearing that up. Okay.
Know how people can think.
Right. The expectations that women have with men, are they too high or too low?
I don't think they're too high. I think it's good for a woman to have high expectations in a man. It's like this is our lives. Like I can't have my life be put in danger. I can't deal with not a peaceful household. Like I protect my peace at all costs. Like I think that it's very good to have high standards as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
High
And I
standards
think
are good. Some people can have unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
You coming in, he got to be 6 figures and this and that. He got to have a 6-pack. But then you minimum wage, you fat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just being real.
I didn't want to say nothing because that's 6
got
figures.
the
Y'all
wrong
know how I am.
expectations, but you look at, as they say, you want a quarter, but you a penny. Don't do that.
Come on now.
So I'm just saying, some people's expectations are unrealistic.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
like
some
in
people
inner
have-
qualities, it's good to have high expectations, like inner qualities, not necessarily
Yeah.
out, you know?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with high qualities, higher standards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of women can have unrealistic expectations when it comes to money and men. I don't know if you guys know, well, I won't even say their name, but there's just this whole movement with women thinking that, guys are supposed to fly them out of town. They're supposed to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we're in 2025. So 2025, you have to, if you want the table, you got to become the table.
Come on now. Ooh, how do we become the table? Let's talk about it. How do we become the table? Come on now. That's right.
Purpose.
Yes, purpose. You got to become, you got to become like your best self, new mindset, do that inner healing work, get in purpose, you got to transform.
Yeah. What Katisha said, it's so true. The internet has changed people. Like, it's like, I find it so insane how people expect that. I mean, like, I think that all of us grew up in a time where like internet wasn't like everything when we were younger, but I think like nowadays it's just people like see things online and they think it's reality.
Let me ask y'all this. So do you get offended or do you feel some type of way if a man asks you, what do you bring to the table?
We shouldn't get offended because I want to know what he's going to bring to the table. So we should not. I mean, it's a give and take situation. So, but I think some women can get offended, but they should not.
I feel like if a man know the value of a woman, he shouldn't ask that question. I wouldn't get offended, but if he really know the value of a woman and what women do, he should not ask that question. He wouldn't even ask that.
Yeah.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
No, I was asking, would you get offended if a man was to ask you, what do you bring to the table? Or how do you feel, about a man asking you that question?
I think that would let me know a lot about him if he asked me that question, because I feel like that means to me he don't know the value of a woman, and he don't see what I bring to the table.
I think if it came like from the right place, like right intention, it could be like positive. But if it's like, oh, what can you do for me? Like,
right,
no,
Yeah.
The
So
only reason why I feel like I would feel offensive to that is because I feel like the men that had asked me before what I was bringing to the table, they wasn't bringing nothing to the table. So I guess it's like it would have to be situational. Like if I knew that they had stuff to offer, you know what I mean? Like they were a good man, a good godly man, maybe I wouldn't be offended if they from them asking.
I was gonna piggyback off of Deanna. A lot of times, the wrong person asking you what you bring to the table, they have ulterior motives. They know they're coming in less than. They know they're coming in to treat you a certain way. So they want to know how can they benefit. So that's why a lot of times that question can be coming from a negative standpoint from the wrong one.
Yeah, because most of the time when high value man, when you're dealing with a high value man, I don't even think they ask you that.
They're not gonna ask you that.
A godly man
already know
asking that kind of question, because like you say, he should know what a biblical woman brings to the table, what she possesses already. and he not coming in looking for what you can do. That's coming in looking on the receiving end. He can come in from a positive standpoint. What can I do for you? What can I bring to this table instead of what we bring? You know.
And I feel like a smart man. I feel like most men observe. Like they observe how you carry yourself and how you show up. Anyway, so I don't understand that question. I really don't, because most men just look and watch you.
So what's 3 things y'all bring to the table?
Loyalty, respect,
I bring peace.
Yep.
Laughter, nurturing,
support,
A godly atmosphere.
healing,
Mhm.
friendship, love.
Yeah. I would say
I can bring prayer to the table. Oh yeah.
I would say for me, loyalty, laughter, and romance. I could say a lot of things, but those are just 3 that I bring. So
I bring the jokes.
Oh, I like this question. She said, "What you bringing to my table for me to multiply?" You better
Right,
say it.
Leslie?
yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys something though? Like, since a lot of us have been out of the game for a while, do some of you guys sometimes feel like you're like, I don't know if I have my romance anymore. Like, I used to have it, I don't have it anymore.
No, I still got it.
I think that'll pick back up when it's time.
Yeah, I think it will come back.
Oh yeah, like riding a bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what Leslie said though. What was it?
Let me go back to it. What you bringing to my table for her to multiply?
I wanted to comment on that. So remember how she brought it out how women multiply. So it's more than just the positive. So let's say in a relationship, marriage, a man brings negative things. So he's giving you negative things to multiply. So in other words, I heard it said before, when a woman presents a certain way, whether it's positive or negative, you need to look at that man because she's only multiplying what he brought.
Right.
True.
So if there's an issue with the woman, you got to look at the head.
That's right.
True. I agree.
You better come on in here and preach. Come on. Okay. Now, what is your definition of a high value man? Because many people, many women, I believe, have it mixed up. Okay.
Yes.
I don't think they really understand or know what a high value man is. So, what is your definition of a high value man?
It has nothing to do with his money or his material possessions for me. It has everything to do with his character, and just who he is as a person, as an individual. Like, are you honest? Are you trustworthy? Like, do you know your purpose? Do you love God? To me, that's what makes you a high value man. Are you confident in yourself or are you insecure? Like, to me, it's just more about his character than his money. And I think a lot of women, especially in this generation, they think a high value man is he earns 6 figures. And I don't think it have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I think you can have a lot of money and not be a high value man.
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing, like provider and protector, absolutely. But if you can't give me that emotional fulfillment in any way, shape, or form, like if you can't see me as a woman, like it's like there's nothing there. Like I need like a real man who has integrity, honesty, all of these qualities we always talk about. Like without any of that, like you could give me all the money in the world, like it will mean nothing to me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. He need to have a high value man. To me, is a man who fears the Lord. It's a man who has character, a man of honor, a man who keep his word. A man who, because it's not always about money. He can have money and then control you with his money. It's not always, and it's not a look. A high value man is not a look. Okay, so we can't go off of how his outside appearance look. No, No. It's an inside job. A high value man is a healed man.
Right.
Yes.
Man. It's a man who knows his identity in Christ. It's a man who knows his worth.
Tequila, say heal one more time.
And then, okay. That's a high value man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Okay. Why do women give men husband privileges if they desire to be a wife?
Been there, done that. Don't do it.
Because they think that man is going to marry them if they show this and all these things up front. Oh, he's going to make me his wife. Where in reality, you doing all this for this man, he's going to say, why do I need to rush and marry her? I'm already getting everything. So there's no need to put a ring on her finger.
Yeah.
I would say too, because she's not valuing those things from herself. Like, she doesn't place any value on what she brings to the man. So she just giving it away for free.
Yeah. And in most cases, after you done all that, they'll go waste your time and then go marry someone they haven't even slept with, or because they'll see you as a certain way, used up or what have you. Then they'll go marry the virgin girl or someone with a decent perception.
Right.
So
I like what Katisha said, because we don't know any better. And that's so true. Like when you're young or when you haven't had enough experience, or
that's good.
Yeah, like we just don't know any better. And we learn these things from having bad experiences, unfortunately.
I mean, but like me, grew up in a Christian household. I was taught better. I just did what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right.
So some of us were taught, but
they said it was husband privileges.
It was husband privileges.
Of cooking, sex,
shacking.
Living together.
Living together. You're not married.
Just catering to them in a way, like I said, as a single woman, that we shouldn't be catering to them. Period. Some people create going to debt for a person.
Yeah, giving money
and things like that. Things we shouldn't even be doing as a single person.
Right.
Helping him with his business.
Right.
Taking his business to a whole nother level.
Even like I said, they don't have to be money. Business ideas.
Yeah.
You helping somebody out, that who's gonna take this with another, not always, but take this with someone else. They come up and then they're gonna leave with it.
Basically being the wife without the title or the ring.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. Yep. All right. So why do women get upset with other women when they discover that her man is cheating?
Ooh, that's a biggie. I don't know why women do that.
I don't know.
They just assume that the woman knew about the other woman. That's what I would think anyway. Like they think that they were being sneaky with the guy. Like they think they already knew about the woman.
But we also are not putting accountability where it belongs. Right. He know that whether she knew it or not, he knew he was in a relationship.
Right.
Accountability needs to be put back on the person it belongs on.
Mm-hmm.
I think it takes two to tango, though. But I think that, like there's all this stuff that's going on with like Prophet Lavi. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's just, I think, and then this woman is speaking out about, being a victim and stuff, which that's true. Like, but at the same time, you had a part to play as well in that whole situation.
Yeah, but I think the problem comes when the woman that's perpetrated on blames the other one. But like I said, my problem is this: is even though she played a part, whether she knew it or not, that is not who you should have the problem with.
Right.
Now, let me say this, because some women, they be trying to seduce your man. They be trying to You know, they be trying to do
They know
stuff. They
that's
know
your
about you. They know about you. They know you his wife, and they be trying to get him. In that case, I would be mad at both of them. But I would, because you doing all of that and you know he got a woman. Come on now.
But even with the seducing, if the man ends up cheating with this woman, I'm in a relationship with you. I'm not in a relationship with her. She doesn't owe me anything, no words or anything. I'm in a relationship with you. So that's just how I feel about it.
It's his responsibility to check the woman.
Yeah.
I agree.
To stop it before it gets there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the accountability part.
Yeah.
Or if let's say he's doing his part and she's still pursuing, then that's when he take it a step further. He come home to the wife. Okay, I've confronted this situation and this is still happening. Now I need your input. Now I need you to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Confront it down together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm coming up there, baby.
Coming on that job.
For real, I'm going up there, baby.
I'll be up there for lunch, right?
I ain't said nothing but a word. Here I come.
But we gotta put prayers on it though, for real. We gotta take it to God.
You're right. You're right.
I mean, at the end of the day, men can be like predators, but women, you know, I just think that like I've been like I felt like a victim before when I was younger and stuff, and you know, it's never good to be that way, but I think it's just very complex. But I guess I agree with Jen. Like, it really is the man that we should be upset at. But I mean, sometimes, yeah, the woman does seduce.
I agree with that too. But yeah, I just know some women are. Not all women are good. I know some women that be trying to do some stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm just laughing at these comments. Yeah, that's good. I agree with everything. If a woman forgives a man for cheating, is she giving him the okay to cheat again?
No, absolutely not.
No. Forgiving him for cheating, that's what we're commanded to do. Forgive. You know, now if he take a stupid pill and cheat again, then he gotta go. I'm just being honest. He gotta go. Because I'm just being honest. Let me be serious. Because some men will take that mindset, oh, she forgave me for cheating, so let me go ahead and do it again, because they will see that woman as desperate, stupid, whatever. But that's not the case. That's a good woman. And she's forgiving you, you know, for this offense, you know, but that don't mean do it again, you see? So, but if that don't, I forgot the question. That don't mean
mistake is a mistake, but when he makes it a habit, that's a difference. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I just feel like it's got to be like consequences. I feel like men, if they don't have consequences for their actions, they're gonna keep doing it again.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know, I just think it's a process to it. Like, I think you could forgive a man for it if it's your husband, but he got to have some consequences for his actions.
Yeah.
And we're not telling nobody to leave a man or anything like that, or be with a man and deal with something. That's something you have to deal with in your own house, and then take it before God. God, do you want reconciliation with this situation, or
yes,
want to handle it?
That's good.
I feel like it depends on how the situation is handled once it's been discovered that he's been cheating. Now, are you just going to sweep it under the rug and just move on? Or are we going to put in some work and say, okay, why did you do this? How are we going to make this better so it don't happen again? Right. A lot of women, they will just sweep it under the rug, and then here it is down the line, the man is doing the same thing. So it goes back to, I guess, consequences and just putting in the work.
I feel like he's
part of it. Yeah.
He gotta be willing to like do some stuff. Like, he gotta be willing to go to some therapy, go to some sessions, do some coaching. do some prayer, read the Bible. He got to be willing to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Keep the phone unlocked, not on cold fast phone and stuff.
Keep the phone unlocked. Turn your location on. Like, you got whatever make me feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? To get me to trust you again. You got to prove that. It's not just like, oh yeah. For me, it's not just like, oh yeah, I forgive you. I'm just take you back. Like, you got to show me you're going to put in the work that you really want to be faithful and change. No, I'm not accepting you back no type of way.
Yeah.
If they're a man of God, though, they will feel very convicted. I don't know about worldly men, but like man of God would feel very convicted, and hopefully God will do what he needs to do.
So I got a question about that then. So do men of God still cheat?
They can. Of course.
Men of God have cheated.
Because, I mean,
they're human at the core, at the end of the day.
Take David in the Bible. Bathsheba was looking good to him.
He was a man after God's heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened? But you see how God sent Nathan to correct him and hold him accountable. I say it all the time. A man needs accountability. Period. He needs accountability. Yeah. And the thing is, when you're dealing with a man of God who cheat, because you're a woman of God, so God is gonna tell you before he cheat, he gonna let you know he cheating.
Yeah.
He gonna notify you.
That's why I'm like, why do these men be cheating? We be having dreams and all kind of stuff. Like, I know what you're doing.
If we do get notified, what do we do? Like,
you sit him down, like before it happened, you sit him down to be like, just have a conversation with him. You don't necessarily got to bring up what God showed you, but you could be like, hey, is everything going okay on the job? You know?
Exactly. All right. That's good.
That, right?
Bring it up.
Is everything all right?
Right. How you been feeling lately? You know, your thoughts okay? You know?
Do you got a fever? Are you okay? Like, what's going on?
Exactly, but that's good though.
It's serious, you know.
Or you go ahead and,
or you can even say, you know, hey,
praying against that.
Yeah, there you go. God showed you to pray against it. Yeah. That's good, Deanna.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. The teacher said, "Why is it so hard for us to hold men accountable?" Well, I don't think most women are taught to hold men accountable. You know, because people say, "Oh, that's a man. He gonna cheat, girl. You know, don't be so hard on him." We're not taught to hold men accountable. You know, and then I think, when you hear people talking about hold men accountable, it's like, well, how do I do it? And then when you hold the man accountable, then he resisted and called you crazy, things of that nature, What are your thoughts?
And then just like we was talking about earlier, like a lot of women already believe that all men cheat. They already, it's like normalized in our society. So what am I holding men accountable about? Every man gonna cheat, So I feel like there'd be a lot of women mindset too, of why they don't.
And so I'm glad we talking about this, because we gotta let that go. That mindset, every man gonna cheat, as if that's a pass you give him. No. Come out of agreement with that mindset, no, the man who I deal with, it will not cheat. You see, right. Like because I believe if we expect that from our man, we're going to get it. Mm-hmm. You see, if I expect for him to be faithful and loving and, all of the great things, then that's how he's going to show up. Hopefully,
because he don't have a choice. What he going to do?
Yeah. But I think it just, it's like, it's the negative is being highlighted, oh, he's going to cheat, oh, man, cheat, You're like, no, let's stop expecting that. And let's expect the best from this man. Mm-hmm. That go right back to that accountability. Accountability is going to pull out the best in this man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of the time it's hard to hold men accountable when men are not healed. I feel like if you are trying to hold a healed man accountable, it's not so hard. Like they're more receptive to change behavior.
Right.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. This right here, this comment got me laughing. She said, I'm starting out with I had a dream. about
That they'll go run it. They go run it with it, right? That's good. Daughter of Abraham. They be shaking in their boots then, right?
Right. I remember my spouse told me one time, he said, God be telling you too much. I said, yes, he do. Yes.
That is funny.
I want to relate what you just said about like men and, you know, you get kind of what you put out there, because I mean, it's the same thing with God. Like, we don't want to sin because of God's grace. Like, if God was like vindictive and he was harsh, we would want to sin more type of thing. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, in God-ordained relationships, at least, I know that's not what we're doing, but like, when you believe your man is good, you know, they're going to want to treat you better because you believe you have grace for them, and you know, kind of how God is with us. Does that make sense? I don't know.
That's what I need to work on. I need to work on that.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, God gives us grace, so then we don't sin because of his grace. But if he was very like evil and mean, we would actually want to sin more, if that makes sense. It's the same thing with men. Like, if we're like compassionate and kind, that would give them the room to grow and be better, rather than us like, you know, controlling and telling them what to do type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Now, let me highlight this. He said, how do men really feel when we hold them accountable? So what has been your experience when you have held men accountable in your past?
They don't like it. They run.
Yes.
They leave. They use that as an excuse. Oh, you nagging, and you this, you that. You expect too much. They use it as an excuse to dip.
You want me to be perfect. You're trying to control me.
Yeah. Or they want to change the thoughts around it so they can continue in that behavior.
I've had a situation where a man, he will like apologize if he's done wrong after I've tried to hold him accountable, but you haven't did anything after the fact to try to change what you've been doing. So it's more so to shut me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Pretty much.
Or I feel like Jennifer, it might not even been that. Like, I feel like, because my spouse have done it too. Like, when he realized he was wrong and I was right when I was holding him accountable, he'll apologize. But I feel like sometimes they just don't know how to change their behavior. Because, you know, they'll even say, like, I need to stop doing this, but just don't know how, you know, to stop. So sometimes it's not intentional. You know, it's just, they just don't know how.
I feel like at first they get really defensive, but then they kind of like feel it out, and then they're like, okay, I actually appreciated that she did that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I did want to add the ones that I said when I tried to make them accountable that they ran, that's because they were the wrong one in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I think our spouses is all related. I think they cousins or something, because it sounds like they all act the same.
They cousins.
For real. For real.
Cousins. All right, here's another question. How do you navigate being a virgin and dating with the intent to marry when the younger generation has normalized sex before marriage?
That's hard.
Society's making it hard. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
I would say just keep being you. Like, keep being celibate. You know, that's a very great thing. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have stayed a virgin, because I came to the realization, even on my stance, that nobody deserves that from me. You know, only my husband deserves that from me. So I would say just keep that up. Like what the Bible say, don't be conformed to the patterns of this world. Keep doing you. And when it's time for God to send your husband, you know, he probably gonna value that in you, you know, that you saved yourself.
Absolutely. As my born again self, I really, really wish I was a virgin. But in my sinful self, I wouldn't have thought that way, because our world like conditions our mind to thinking that that's like not normal. But like now I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wish I was that way. Like, that's a beautiful quality, but I feel like society will make it hard for you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And take it from an older woman who's been in previous relationships where I've given myself. Look where it got me. They didn't marry me. You know what I'm saying? So stick to your virginity and wait for your husband, because, like I say, wasting your, is what's that scripture, throwing your pearls to the swine. Don't do it. If
Right.
you are able to invite the Holy Spirit in to help you and assist you to maintain your virginity, and don't, like I say, don't fit in. Don't worry about what the world is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say, understand the consequences that come with having sex before marriage.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get soul ties attached to you, spirit spouses, disease, children can come out of it. Not saying that's a negative thing, but you can end up a single mom, So, broken heart, betrayal, things of that nature, so it doesn't matter what the younger generation is doing. Let them do them. You do you. You know who you are. You know who you are. You're a virgin, so you save yourself for your king, because he's going to honor that. He's going to value that.
He's gonna love that.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's a really beautiful gift to be able to give to your husband. I wish that I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of your favorite too, by you being a virgin, okay?
Yeah.
So understand that. We gotta understand how our favors show up. That's one way yours show up as a virgin. Okay, so you honor that. You respect that. You put boundaries on that, and you don't put yourself in a situation where you may fall into that temptation.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna say one thing. I think that also a young girl's mind like falls victim to thinking that men like want a woman to be promiscuous and like know what to do in bed, and men actually hate that. Men love when a woman like acts like a virgin and doesn't know what to do. Like he does not. Yeah. I feel like a husbandly man or any type of man loves when a girl doesn't know what to do. But I'm just saying, in my personal experience, I always felt really uncomfortable with that, like seeing girls around me feeling like they were way more experienced than me and doing that, and then that made me go sin because I didn't know any better and like lower my standards or whatever. And it's just so not wise to do that. But yeah, I feel like it's really amazing a woman to a man that is a virgin. That's awesome.
A lot of men don't like to think of the fact that someone else touched
yeah
woman.
So that's a beautiful thing. So he has something nobody else had.
Right.
That's his trophy.
Yeah.
That's his trophy right there. All right.
Ain't gonna lie, y'all. I feel like a virgin again. I ain't gonna lie.
I think we all do.
We over here holding it down.
Okay. Hold it down.
All right. What if he's surrounded by accountability, but they either ignore, turn the other cheek, or living godly in their personal life is not important as long as they are serving? So what if he's surrounded by accountability, but they either ignore? So she's talking about the spouse ignore the accountability, or living godly in their personal life is not important as long as they are serving.
Oh.
Well, no. Go ahead.
I'm trying to see if I understand the question right. I think I do.
He's getting accountability, but he's ignoring it.
Ignoring it, right.
Pretty much.
I think that what God allowed him to do is keep doing what they think is best, and then they will come to the realization that they should have took that accountability, and that accountability was best for them. That's what I think.
They setting themselves up for consequences.
Right.
That's what that sounds like, and that they're not gonna like.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's come back over here. All right. Here's one. Why do women get comfortable and let themselves go in relationship? And how can we turn this around so we are always looking best for our man? So let's start with the first part. Why do women get comfortable and let themselves go in relationship?
Time and energy? I don't know.
I feel like it's the same reason why men, when they first start dating you, they pulling out the roses, they taking you on dates, they doing all of that, and then when they get comfortable with you, they stop doing it. I feel like it's the same. You know, you
Yeah.
just get comfortable with your partner. You get comfortable with the day-to-day. If y'all have kids, you get comfortable with the hustle and bustle, everything that y'all got to do. So maybe you just lose the spark or something. I don't know, but we can't do that because men are very visual creatures and they want you to look good. So do it.
I'm like all about having a happy medium though, because I know some people who like say their wife like recently gave birth and like isn't losing weight in the proper amount of time that they want them to lose the weight, and then they like feel like they like don't like want to cheat on them or like aren't attracted to them anymore. I'm like, give these women grace too. Like I think that like giving women grace, but also understanding that like they shouldn't be lazy. Like they should take a shower every day, like clean the kitchen, make themselves look presentable. But like, do they need to kill themselves over it? I don't think that.
Yeah.
I think that's why too it's important for your husband to more so to be attracted to you, to your heart, more so than your body. Because I feel like when you go through pregnancy and stuff like that, he won't be like, oh, she getting, she too big or whatever. Like he'll love you through it, But if you have a man and he just love you for your body, then yeah, he's gonna feel like that.
Exactly.
Yep, we're gonna let you go. So how can we turn this around so we are always looking best for our men? So give us some tips on how to keep ourselves looking good.
I think that when you get in a relationship with your husband, I think you should continue to date him. I don't think you should stop dating. I think you should keep that going.
And that, I feel like, that would, if you stop dating me, if the man get comfortable, you don't, you should still dress up, but I feel like if the man doing his part, then the woman gonna do her part.
Yeah.
I feel like that. If you still taking me out, then I got a reason to get dressed up.
Yeah.
Right.
I think sorry, Destiny, keep going.
No, you go.
No, God-ordained relationships, we mirror each other, but I think in normal relationships, we mirror each other as well. Because, like, if you look good or if you want to look good and your man wants to take you out, like, you'll mirror one another. And I think it's the same in God-ordained relationships. Like, if you let yourself go, the man's not going to want to do the work anymore or whatever. It's just, like, it takes two to tango type of thing. But I think that also, like, communication is key. And, like letting your partner know, like, how they make you feel in the relationship when, and all this stuff. Yeah.
We got to remember relationship takes work, and we forget that what you do to get the person you should maintain. We forget that.
Yeah.
And I, with the exception, we understand aging. We understand things happen health-wise that could change you physically and all that. We're not talking about that part. We're talking about doing the best you can with what you have, outside of being, with the health issues. Even with health issues, do what you can.
Yeah.
That's within your reach and grasp.
Right.
As long as you're doing your best, that should be what counts.
Yeah.
And also, we're a reflection of our men. So when we step outside, people should be able to compliment him because of how we carry ourselves.
Yes.
So it's very important to and it also, I think, when we keep ourselves together looking good, it keeps the relationship just in a good place, fiery, and, them wanting to love on us, them wanting to romance us, just all those different things.
Yeah. All right. Question: say if your God-ordained spouse contacts you, would you bring up the past and hold him accountable? Wouldn't he take that in the wrong way? So I'm gonna let y'all talk.
Tequila, this is you all day. This is you all day.
Okay. So I'm gonna read the question again. Say if your God-ordained spouse contacts you. So prodigal. Say if your prodigal contacts you, will you bring up the past and hold him accountable? Wouldn't he take that in the wrong way? Number one, I wouldn't care if he took it in the wrong way. Number two, there's a time for everything. There's a time to bring up the past. And that time is usually during reconciliation stage 9. Okay. So if you're not in stage 9, if you don't hear the Lord telling you I'm about to reconcile you back with your spouse and God getting you ready, for this reconciliation to happen. And the prodigal contacts you, you already know what I'm about to say. Okay, go back in divine separation. Okay, no prodigal want accountability. Okay, they're going to take it in the wrong way, right? But even when a prodigal take accountability in the wrong way, you still hold them accountable because you understand that holding him accountable is what's best for him. It goes back to what we were talking about. I think it was Destiny who said a man want to change, but he don't know how to change, right? So as his helpmate, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna help you change by holding you accountable. It's something he probably never experienced before, right? So I'll be the first to hold you accountable, right? And that's what you pull out your best self, So that's my advice,
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I ain't want to get up here preaching. Okay. So do you believe a wife should always be sexually available for her husband? Why or why not? Oh, let's talk about it.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
After this wait, I'm ready.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I agree with you, Crown Jewel.
Yes.
Listen. Okay. Even
It's
the
this
Bible
one.
says.
Yes, it's this one video.
Yeah.
I don't know what the lady name, but she is married, and she always talk about uh her husband could get it anytime. I'd be like, oh my God. But yes, like, yeah, that's what the Bible say. Like,
Let me tell you, okay? Because the Bible just say the only time I'm gonna just paraphrase what the Bible say. It's basically saying the only time you should turn your husband down is when you fasting or when you on your monthly. That's it. Other than that, you big girl, you better go and meet that need
oh
and
And
have
when he's
fun.
not putting you in danger because he's being
Yeah.
no,
But
that's true.
what if you're like mad at him for the day? Like just hypothetically.
no, Victoria.
Wait a minute, Nina, I remember your comment. I remember your comment from before.
Should I say
You
it?
want to say it?
In
Listen.
my past?
We shouldn't withhold.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. It does say that in the Bible. We should not withhold anything like
In
that.
my past, when I was in relationships and I was upset with my partner, and they would think, well, we're not going to do it. And I said, look, I might be mad at you, but such and such ain't mad. I'm mad. That don't mean she mad. So, but anyway, in a godly marriage, we're not supposed to withhold, like you said,
Yeah.
under the conditions of fasting and on our monthly. Maybe, I know it doesn't specifically say this, but if he putting your life in danger for infidelity, that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then
Yeah,
if
we're
you
supposed to be
mad,
available.
if you mad, that's the fastest way to get back happy.
Okay. I can get unmad real quick.
All right. Oh my God. All right. Okay, where we at? I think we talked about this. Let's see. Do women have unrealistic expectation when it comes to marriage? And what does a successful and healthy marriage look like to you? First, hold up. Before y'all answer that, have you ever seen a successful marriage before? I don't think. I asked that question because I'm just speaking from, my own perspective. I don't think most Black women have witnessed a successful, healthy marriage. Okay. If you really look at it, that marriage, it probably wasn't successful or healthy.
My uncle and my aunt have a very good marriage from what I can tell. But I see a lot of marriages from the outside. So the marriages I've seen on the inside that are in my family, I've seen pretty toxic marriages, but I've seen a lot of healthy marriages that seem very healthy. And I know my aunt and my uncle and some people in my family do have pretty good marriages, but there's some toxicity, I feel like, in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good question. A lot of times you don't know what's going on
Right.
And some people who appear healthy on the outside, follow them home. You don't know what's going on. So that's a hard question.
Mhm. So, do y'all think women have unrealistic expectation when it comes to marriage?
Oh yeah. A lot of
Mm,
women do because a lot of women can be superficial. Like I said, when you go into those ones who are looking for certain things being brought to the table, like income and things like that. So in that perspective, yeah. But if you're in God, I would hope your expectations and your what you're expecting is aligned with God.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
I've had trouble with this because I'm like kind of like a Disney princess. Like I want that
me too.
happy ever after,
Like a
but
fairy tale.
yeah, but the thing is though, a lot of people in the Christian community will like not respect that. They're like, no, that's not biblical. You really shouldn't have all of those like lovey-dovey feelings before marriage. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, kind of like iffy about that. I don't know how I feel about that, but I've always wanted that happy ever after. But I feel like the Christian community says something different.
Oh, that's good, Tyra.
I think I might have unrealistic expectations for marriage. I think I do because like I would say I didn't I don't know. I mean, you hear that marriage is not easy, but like even on a stance, like I didn't know how hard it is to like truly love. Like I feel like God been teaching us how to love and like just dealing with a person and they not always gonna be perfect all the time, not always gonna do everything right all the time. And that's hard. So I don't know, like I don't know what I expect, but I definitely think I do got some unrealistic expectations
I think I do too, because I
from
feel
my
like I
husband.
have never really seen a healthy marriage before, so I never really knew what
Right.
to expect, like going in or receiving love from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I could say the more I get deeper into my relationship with God, my expectations have changed. My expectations from a few years ago is different today. So that speaks volumes for me because I had very unhealthy expectations and it's totally different now.
Yeah. I think that I do, in a sense, be expecting my spouse to be perfect. Like, I, have this certain way that I feel like I want to be treated. And I don't know. I think I have to work on that. But, I think when you don't see certain stuff, you like feel like a man should be perfect.
Hmm. So that's good. That's good. It's helping us to understand, why the Lord have us in divine separation, 'cause He's dealing with us on these things. All right. So most Black women are not taught how to be wives. Other races are. Name 5 things your mother taught you about becoming a wife. You said 5 things.
Mm.
I got one, but
You know what? I can say this. Not so much was the verbiage, this is how you be a wife. I was more so brought up, this is how you be a good Christian woman, young lady. These are God's expectations, standards. And then on the other perspective, this is how you show up with a man. You don't do this with a man. You don't give your man your goods. From that perspective, yes, I was taught how to conduct myself as a young lady, then as a woman, and we shouldn't throw ourselves at a man. We shouldn't run behind a man. But the actual words, this is how you become a wife, I can't say that.
Yeah.
yeah. And see, I was taught how to be a strong woman, how to
Mm.
not allow or how to not let a man put his hands on you. And if you end up having children with this man, put him on child support. Being very honest. So yeah,
I think I was taught. Was somebody else talking?
Deanna.
Go ahead.
I was taught from my mom, and I don't even think she realized that she was teaching me this, but I used to see my mom and dad are still married, but I used to see my mom and dad when they would have a disagreement, my mom wouldn't say anything. And like before I had given my life fully to God, I used to always ask her like, why won't you stand up for yourself? And now since I feel like since I know God has been preparing me to be a wife, she used to be standing up. She used to be giving it to God. She used to be praying. So I feel like that's what she taught me. Like, so, but I feel like I only realized that after God had started preparing me to be a wife. But that's what I feel like my mom taught me, to not like be arguing with my husband and to just give it to God in prayer.
That's good.
I would say that my mom, she taught me to be loyal, and then
Yeah.
also sticking it out. You know, if there's problems, doing whatever you have to do to make it work, not thinking that every time something happens, you're going to run out the door. This is your mate, so you got to be able to figure out the issues that you guys are having. So,
Now, I was taught that through observation from my father, because he's married. He's been married for probably over 15 years. Sticking it out, unity, things of that nature. Yeah.
I would piggyback to Jennifer. I was taught loyalty from my mother, and I feel like just how to carry myself as a lady. Like I never been promiscuous or wild or anything like that. That's what I would say. Everything else I had to learn. But yeah.
Let's just say I can't go by my mother.
Yeah. So I think that's safe to say that the average black household wasn't, well, not gonna say average, a lot of us wasn't just taken by the hand and said, this is how you conduct yourself as a wife.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were taught, different things about how, like I said, how to be a respectable young lady, and how to grow up the way God intended for us to grow up. But just the words wife, and this is how you model yourself. No.
Mhm. Yeah. All right.
That has to change.
Mhm. If a man divorces his wife for free will, should she stand for marriage restoration? What are y'all thoughts?
She have to ask the Lord
Mhm.
if he want her to stand for her marriage.
Yeah. Yeah, that it really boils down to, like she was saying, if the Lord is telling you to stand, and I get this question asked a lot, how do I know if the Lord telling me to stand? Well, he'll give you dreams showing you your spouse, your husband or wife, coming back a changed person. He would even show you, through dreams or vision, like what really happened, what caused the breakdown, what caused the divorce, and he's showing you that so that you can pray. So if God is telling you to stand, then yeah, it doesn't matter, because here's the thing. If the man divorced you, if your husband divorced you based off out of his free will, but God is telling you to go ahead and stand, in God's eye, he still see y'all married. Okay. So this is why God is saying stand for your marriage. Okay. So yeah. All right. So what other questions do you all have for the ladies tonight? Yeah. Let's see. Dominic said, that is sad, but very true. A lot of women in the Black community don't teach their daughter to be, I think she means wife. My mom is married. I disagree with a lot that she did in her marriage. Right. And that's why we need to have this conversation about being a wife, just being a woman in general, because it's not really taught. It's not really taught. You can pick it up through your environment, through what you are observing, but it's not really taught to the Black community.
I feel like I learned from like the media. Like I don't remember actually being like taught. Like I remember just like picking up things from the media or just other people maybe look like my mom. I don't remember my mom sitting down ever talking to me about how to be a girlfriend or wife or whatever. I feel like I just picked it up and became that. I don't know.
I feel like even if, like, let's say you grow up seeing the wrong example, I feel like you still learning what not to do. Like that's what I feel. I learned a lot not to do. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like that's what I learned.
Yeah. All right. So how do you deal with being blocked by the guy? Say thank you, Jesus, and how do y'all deal with being blocked?
Is this the God ordained spouse?
Probably.
I mean, who
It's
I
nothing you can really do.
yeah, I don't want to be insensitive, but I just feel like you shouldn't really care that much. You should be like just focus on your purpose, doing the things that God is asking you to do and just focusing on that, and God will get his attention, and just
Yeah.
focus on you.
Yeah. Okay. So it looked like we're going over into the God ordained marriage questions. Will it be revealed to you who your God ordained husband is prior to meeting or upon meeting him? I hear that a lot. God can reveal who your God ordained husband is at any time. You can meet the person and God can stay silent, because that can just be an introduction, right? And then God can later on, like 1, 2, 3 years later, reveal like, hey, that's your husband, right? Um, so God can reveal this at any time to you, and y'all can add anything you want on this.
For me, I met my spouse and then God revealed after we dated for 3 months. So I had already met him.
Yeah, it was the same with me. I think if you don't know your God ordained spouse, maybe God can give you dreams of what this man may look like, and then you would, actually meet them at some point. But yeah,
Yeah.
for me, I knew I had been in a relationship with him, and then God revealed that this was my person.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, how do you deal with thoughts that you messed this up? So she's talking about the God ordained love story.
Oh, God actually gave me a dream about this. Because I had the same thought. And he gave me a dream. And it was 3 women that he had gave promises to. And it was one girl, and she was like, he gave me a promise. And the other girl was like, he gave me a promise. And I was like, he gave me a promise too. And then the other girl was like, the promise still stands. Because I was feeling like that too. Like, I messed this up. I messed this up. But he was saying, like, it still stands. So God will come in your dream or however he speaks to you and reassure you that you didn't mess it up. I do think we probably can, but I believe he will keep reassuring you like you didn't mess it up. Like it's still yours. So
Yeah.
if you feeling that way, just talk to God about it and he'll speak to you.
Yeah.
I've struggled with this so much in my story. And I think, though, what differentiates a God ordained love story from a regular love story is that if you show God that you're sorry and you're repenting for this and you want to become a better person, that's beautiful. And your spouse is probably doing the same thing. I think that, whatever mistake happened, you can come back from it with repentance, but also giving yourself grace and forgiving yourself, most of all. And I think that it just takes time and just like understanding that like who you were back then is like who you were back then. And if you were who you are now, yeah, that wouldn't have happened, but you met them at that time for a reason, type of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, and
When
then
I
just
used to
learning the
go to
lesson. Oh, I was just gonna say, just learn the lesson. If you did something, said something in the past, that now you're like, oh, I think I messed things up. Learn the lesson, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you know what not to do. Now you know what not to say. You see, that's why
Yeah.
we're in divine separation, so that we can reflect on, the things that went wrong and the things that went right, because we want to do more other things that's working. Okay, go ahead, Deanna.
when I used to go to God feeling like I messed it up, God used to shoot back at me like, "Girl, you're not that powerful." Like if I
Oh, that's good.
For real.
tell you that this is your husband and I gave you a promise, like you're not that powerful, like get it together, but you're not that powerful to mess up nothing. I don't that.
Yeah. Yeah, because God is always like advocating on our behalf, So even when we think we messed something up, and let's say we did, right? Let's say, we paid different picture in the person's mind about us, God is going to go over there and bring some correction. He's going to say what he needs to say to the person, or do whatever. But yeah, I like that. He said you're not that powerful. I like that.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I also think like the God-ordained partner is supposed to bring up everything you haven't worked on, and that's why it's so hard. They're your God-ordained partner, so they bring it all up, and it happened for a reason, so you could heal those things, and you can learn from it and like not do that a second time. Like this is the mistake you've made in your past relationship. Your God-ordained partner is gonna magnify it, and this is your time to look at it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how did you come together with your God-ordained spouse in marriage? They engaged. When I feel so inadequate, sometimes because the Holy Ghost has had to teach me everything concerning marriage and being a wife. So what is your advice?
She may need to be in a wife academy.
Right. There we go.
Seriously.
You gotta allow the Holy Spirit to continue to teach you, and the Holy Spirit will show you how to be a wife. And that, I don't think we have to worry about that.
Yeah. I feel like this process is so extensive.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of your process,
It's work.
Yeah, you are well equipped at the end of your process. So
You are.
And
God is so loving,
making you feel inadequate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And God is so loving because the scriptures say the blessing of the Lord makes rich and he adds no sorrow, right? So this inadequate, you feeling inadequate is the sorrow. So God, he is so good and so loving towards us to where even though you're engaged to your spouse, God is like, because I know you feel this way, I'm still going to delay this. I'm going to still keep you in divine separation because God wants you to take this feeling inadequate and turn it into like confident, feeling secure about yourself. That's what I love about this process. It could be long, but God, he has our best interest at heart. He's like, I don't want anything to separate because that can separate the love story. Okay.
yeah.
That's good. Okay, let's see. You got to stop listening to those stories. Okay. She said, I heard of a story of a woman who waited and then the man married someone else. This is terrifying. Stop listening to those stories. Okay. You don't want to be terrified. You want to be empowered in this journey. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I see what you said. All right. So this was a good conversation. We got through all of the questions. Um, if y'all got some more questions you want to talk about, go on and use the floor now, or forever hold your peace. But this was great. Let me ask y'all this one last question. So, how long have y'all been standing for your God-ordained love story? So let's start with Deanna. How long you been standing?
Oh my God, do I have to say?
I'll say in February for me it'll be 3 years. In February.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
A year and a half.
Year and a half. Okay.
I think it's going on 5 that God revealed to me in a dream. Several that I have a particular person.
However, I met him a year and a half ago, but God told me 8 or 9 years ago. So that's a little different. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This has been 3 years for me.
And I'll just say 4 years for me. Yeah. Okay. Somebody came in with a last question, like, all right, tips on motivation when just tired of the loneliness, blockages, and rejection. Okay. She said, I guess that's 8 years total. Okay, what are some tips? She's looking for some motivation, tired of the loneliness. Let's talk about that. Okay, so hold up. This is gonna be the last question, y'all. How do you all handle loneliness?
I'm busy.
Busy.
I said I was
Yeah,
okay.
I'm busy. I
Stay
have,
busy.
busy in purpose. You know,
yeah.
more than just work. I'm busy doing things God revealed to me to do.
Yeah.
You know.
I think self-care helps too, like giving yourself a spa day or
Mm.
something nice for yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm busy. that's,
Continue to
that's
yourself, like Vicky said. Yeah.
And
and
then
my
also,
daughter.
finding a way to serve other people. When you're serving, you really don't have time to focus on the loneliness, being blocked or rejected, because you're busy doing what God has told you to do.
Yeah. And I just feel like God asked us to do so much, like speaking in tongues, prayer, do this, do that. I mean, what time do you have to?
Exactly.
I feel like if you
She's like,
are
get your house in
in
order.
a season when you just feel lonely, that means that you are not doing something that God is asking you to do, because He is asking us to do a lot. He is requiring a lot.
Yeah.
So it just means that, you got to start doing the things that God is asking you to do.
That's it. You're not in purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I be so busy sometime. I'm like, Lord, am I going to have time for my husband? Because you got me doing XYZ. Am I going to have time for my husband? So,
Lord,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
that's an extra responsibility. Like, that's a lot of responsibility too.
Yeah.
It's like everything's extra. Like, gotta cook for another person, clean after another person, do this after. It's like, oh, it's gonna be a lot.
I would think that when marriage comes, our responsibilities will shift. Things will change, and it'll be a little bit different than what we are experiencing as a single person.
Mhm.
We'll
Yeah.
probably still be busy, but in a different, it'll align more with who God has for us.
Yeah.
Your husband and you probably will have purpose together too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
you'll have help, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So you won't be doing everything all by
by
yourself.
yourself. Mm-hmm.
I
Now,
have
one
a
last question. How, because we already know in a God-ordained marriage love story, you're going to come up against some rejection, betrayal, things of that nature. So, what are some ways you are dealing with the rejection
From the person, or to mean someone else.
from the prodigal? Yeah.
Fasting, prayer, um, just asking God to give like clarity, of like why, certain things happen. Um, that's how I deal with it. Just prayer, talking to God.
Hmm. Yeah. Like getting a different
And
perspective.
then asking myself too, like what in me maybe allow certain things, like that helped me to, I feel like that helped me to like heal more too. Like, just because I be feeling like I have more power over the situation if I could like see what it was in myself that contributed to some of this like rejection too.
Hmm.
So yeah, for me it's knowing what I did wrong.
Yeah, that's growth. When you can sit down and ask yourself, okay, how did I contribute to this rejection? Because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can. We can go in that kitchen. We can keep calling, keep chasing, and all doors just keep closing. And then we get upset with God, like, well, God, why would you allow this to happen? It's like, no, you're not paying attention to the red flag, the signals. So that's
Mhm.
good.
God recently gave me a dream where I had like garbage, like so much garbage in my backyard. And he was saying, like, this is how much stuff you had on you when you met your God-ordained spouse. Like, that needed to come out. Like, you could have not went forward with him that way. And that kind of like helped me a lot. Like, and I've been seeing, like, of course it was him and I was mad at him for a while, but like a lot of it was me. Like, I had a lot of healing to be done. I had a lot of things to work on within myself. And like when you take accountability for yourself and you humble yourself in that way, you can like see it a lot more clear for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, this was great, ladies.
I got a question. When you say how long have you been standing, when do you start the time? Like when do you start the clock? Do you start it when you met them or when you first went into separation? Or like say for example, if God started preparing a woman to be a wife before she met them, like how do you judge or gauge how long you've been standing?
Yeah, I started when God revealed to you that that's your God-ordained future husband or wife. Because usually when God revealed that's your husband or wife, God throw you in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I start counting, doing the countdown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, again, that makes mine's different then because I learned. I don't know. I guess I learned 5 years ago who it was, but I didn't believe it or understand it. And then just last year, I got a better understanding. So do you count? I got a better understanding as far as okay, this is the person I should be praying for. This is really it was confirmation. This is really who I said. So which one would you go by?
So let me say this. It starts when God revealed that's your husband or wife. Now, if you don't believe it, that's on you. You just delaying the process,
Okay. So that's why it's been that because I part of it was I didn't believe it,
Right.
wasn't sure, and then needed, me being me, needed several confirmations, needed, different things. So I guess it would be 5.
Yeah. Because like when you think about the prodigal, some prodigals, when God reveals to the prodigal that this is their husband or wife, they don't believe it. They still entertain counterfeit, you see, but the process still goes on. So God still directed you. God still telling you, pray, keep believing, keep showing up,
Yeah.
et cetera,
Well,
et cetera.
back then, I know I've heard of it, but I didn't believe God really picked your spouse. I didn't know about it. So when He revealed it to me, like I said, part of my delay, why it takes so long, because I didn't believe in the beginning, and then I didn't. Then when I did finally understand it, I didn't do the work. I didn't prepare myself. I didn't heal. So part of that, He's not going to give me a broken me to a person.
Right.
Mhm.
Ooh, say that again.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, okay. LT said there has been a time when you feel just bored of all of this process. So when I hear stuff like that, I feel bored. That tells me you're not in purpose. That tells me, because it's hard to be bored when God gives you all these instructions to do. I'm exhausted because I'm doing all these things God is telling me to do, right?
Yeah.
So you got to ask yourself, okay, what am I doing? Like, let me just say this. When God revealed to you who your spouse is, that don't mean you just wait and you just waiting and you just wait like, come on, God, when you going to do it? No. Our preparation work signals to heaven we're ready. But if you don't never get in preparation, there's no signaling to heaven. You see? If I'm getting in purpose every day, I'm healing. God say, get your house in order. I'm getting the house in order. He's telling me, take this program, go back to school. I'm signaling, I'm sending the right signals up to heaven, telling heaven I'm getting ready. Okay, I'm about to manifest this bad boy, right? So I'm never bored. That's one thing I be wishing. I be like, God, give me an assistant.
Yeah.
So busy over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you should never be bored in this process. Okay.
Yeah, the Lord is showing so many things that I need to complete and to heal
Yes.
and to do and the purpose. I'm like, how could you be bored? I'd
Right.
be tired.
I be asking God, how can I do all of this, God? Lord,
But
how?
we do it.
I be like, how?
He gives us the strength as we go.
Said I ain't wiped out, tequila. Okay.
I'm telling you. I was exhausted yet last night. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
out. I tapped out. I said, I'm out. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we about to close up. So I want everyone to let everyone know where they can learn more about you, and let them know your YouTube channel. If you have a website, let them know your website name so that they can check you out.
I'm Nina. I'm on YouTube at crown.queens.
Okay, that's on the YouTube. Go ahead. I'll see you later. Go ahead, Destiny.
Okay, my name is Destiny May. I'm a hairstylist. You can follow me at Dream Girl Lab, or you can follow me at I am Destiny May on Instagram or Dream Girl Lab. Dream Girl Lab is like my beauty page, and then on my personal page, I just share I share hair stuff on there too, but like I'm getting into like the prophetic words and stuff like that.
My
Hi.
name is
You could go.
my name is Jennifer. Everybody knows me as the Crown Jewel, and so I'm on YouTube. I give a lot of prophetic words, and I also talk about the God-ordained journey for people that is desiring marriage. So that's it.
I'm Victoria. You could find me on YouTube at Victorious in Christ. So in between all of the words, there's underscores, but I don't think you need to type it in that way. It's just Victorious in Christ. My website is victoriousinchristministries.life. So you could learn more about me there. But I release videos, prophetic videos, guidance, mentorship, coaching, and I'm also a counselor and I've experience in nursing. So I really just bring my life experience and the prophecy God releases to me, and I release it to the people, and I serve in that way.
Oh, I forgot to say my website too. My website is www.dreamgirllab.com.
Yeah, I think she froze up. Okay, go ahead, Deanna.
I'm Deanna, and I don't have a YouTube page yet.
Okay, Destiny, say it over because your screen.
Oh, did I freeze up, y'all? Okay, I'm so sorry. So I had forgot to say my website. It's www.dreamgirllab.com. I sell wigs. I make custom wigs. I sell bundles. I have bundle deals on there. So go check it out so you can, be beautiful and cute.
Yeah, you got to say your tagline so you can become your dream girl.
Yeah, become your dream girl, Denise. Okay. Okay.
And all of their links will be in the description area. Katisha's so crazy.
Okay, baby, go to the site, girl. We got one for you. We got a couple for you.
But yeah, all of their links will be in the description area.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so just check the description area. Join subscribe to their channel. Check out their website. You all already know who I am. I'm Tequila Coleman. You can find more about myself over at Tequila Coleman. Not Tequila Coleman. I'm about to give y'all my old website. You can find out more about myself over at God-ordainedmarriages.com. Okay. I think we lost Vicky. All right. So, Nina, did you have something to say?
Oh, I would say on my YouTube channel, coming soon, I'm certified life coach as well. I didn't forgot to mention.
Yeah, and all of the ladies, not coming soon for Deanna, but everyone else, they do offer coaching. Okay, so if that's something you all would like going forward, just reach out to them. Okay, reach out to them for coaching, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so thank you all once again. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your night, morning, day, whatever time it is for you, and we will see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.